Hi, I'm Colin. I'm a local and regional councillor of the Town of Milton and Regional Home. I'm quite involved with planning of both the town and the region, and I just want to give you a brief highlight of what's happening in Milton and also the benefits of living, working and playing in Milton. Just going to give you a recent aerial photograph. This is the picture of Milton as about September 2012 or 13, and just highlighting the neighborhoods. Just if you're looking at Milton, we have the old part of town, or what's called Old Milton, made up of the basically the downtown area, Dorset Park, which was built in the 1970s, Timberley was built in late 70s and 80s, and the Bronte Meadows area was early 1980s, as well as the Milton Hospital, which is expanding next year to triple in size. This area has a mix of detached houses, some semi-detached, and apartments along Ontario Street and Main Street. There is also some infilling happening, such as the Bucci Homes proposal on Ontario Street South, where you might see some vacant houses. That's looking at making an application next year. As well as Bronte Street, there's a number of apartments and infill homes, as well as other projects such as the Green Life West Side, and also apartment proposals coming in along Main Street by the GO station, which are looking at expanding this area between Main and Nipissing for about 5,000 apartments over the next 10 years. The first new area of Milton is what's called the Bristol Survey. This is to the east of Thompson Road and south of Derry Road. It's made up of a mix of builders, starting from townhouses, so small apartment buildings. We have the Milton Leisure Centre and Arts Centre in the centre there, as well as new homes. We have some infilling here, such as the Madame A. Patterson, Tiffany Homes, Crystal Homes, also Sutherland Homes in this area here, and it's just about filled out. We also should be finished in the next 2 years. It has a real mix of housing types. We also have the Sherwood Survey, which is the west side of town from Main Street West down to Louis St. Laurent, including the Milton Heights area, which is currently the Ontario Municipal Board, which we should have a decision next year for about 1,000 homes in this area. This is made up of a number of builders as well, with a mix of 3-story townhouses, detached and semi-detached homes, with some infilling being finished along both sides of Bronte Street, including a retirement home going opposite the hospital here for a 4-story building. So we have age groups, young children right up to seniors, so you can have all members of the family live in Milton. The next big residential development is called the Boyne Survey. This will be starting next year from Tremaine Road over to James Snow, from Louis St. Laurent down to Britannia. This will be about 15,000 homes built by 4 major developers such as Madame A, Sundial, Fieldgate and Great Gulf. They're looking at starting on the west side of Milton and working their way east. It will take about 10 years to develop. So we're looking at about an average of 6,000 people a year moving into Milton. So if you think Milton's big now, it's going to be bigger. Each quadrant will have 2 schools plus 2 new high schools in addition to Jean Vanier and Craig Hugelberg over here, as well as a number of town facilities, parks, and also community parks, such as the new Central Milton Holdings Park, which will be 150 acres, the Janik Lands, 300 acres here, as well as the Quelso Quarry Park, which should be opening very soon. To work in Milton, you have a number of options. You have the Main Street Corridor, which has a number of offices and retail areas, the 401 Industrial Corridor, which has a number of offices, large logistics places, as well as the new development in this area here, where the new Tremaine Road will be opening hopefully by 2018. The next phase of growth is what's called the Dairy Green area, which will be taken in the next 10 years for about 18,000 employees. We have some large developers such as Orlando Corporation, Fieldgate Commercial, and smaller ones to have a mix of office, employment, and industrial uses. This is something that the town's quite excited about because we're already getting some applications for this area for large buildings, and hopefully a situation where you can actually walk or cycle to work rather than have to commute 40 minutes every day. The other phase on the west side of town is what's called the Milton Education Village. It's a unique concept where the town owns 150 acres where the velodrome is being constructed right now, which should be open next October. The town is arranged with Laurier University to donate that 150 acres to them once they get approval from the province, which we're hoping for later this year, as well as the other 300 acres of a mix of residential, office and employment lands for basically an incubation or innovation center. So we have not only Laurier University but also Sheridan College as an option. And we also have to the south of Britannia Road is a CN Rail Lands. They have 1,100 acres here. They're looking long term for a large employment area on both sides of the rail line. And in the future, we also have what's called the Sustainable Halton lands to the south of Britannia Road and along both sides of Trafalgar Road for about 75,000 people, bringing by the year 2031 a population of 238,000 people, and by 2041 a population of 350,000 plus, depending on the density. Also, there's a proposed GO station at the corner of Trafalgar Road and the CP line, so you have two options and hopefully getting better GO service into Milton, as well as a widened 401. If you're looking at playing in Milton, we have not only small neighborhood parks, the community park around the community center, or the sports center, the arts center, the leisure center, as well as two large parks we'll be adding to the town, Kelso Quarry Park with Chuck's Beach here, Kelso, Glen Eden, and Hilton Falls. So you have a range of park options in the community, as well as through the future, the Greenbelt lands, the Bruce Trail, the Niagara Escarpment Commission area, as well as the Greenbelt lands to the west of the NEC, including the villages of Campbellville, Moffat, and Brookville. So you can have a different lifestyle choices, both urban, suburban, and rural. And if you have any questions, please call me at colin.best@milton.ca, or check our websites milton.ca or halton.ca, and you can get more information, or call a local agent like Chuck.